Hello and welcome, my fab fans, to Glam's new video. Imagine your father stole your girlfriend. Cause why the fuck did I get an ad about that? You got some explaining to do, Dad? Father? I don't know how to feel about that just being a whole existence, you know? That ad exists and people see it occasionally, randomly. Like, that baffles me. I am going to raise my computer up because why the fuck is it warm? If I place it on a cup, will it stop overheating? I found out why my computer's having issues. It keeps fucking overheating, and it should stop doing that. And the best thing I can do is just lift it up in the air and turn my AC on and hope it cools it down because my AC is right next to where I place my computer, which is convenient. But I have to leave my computer plugged in when I record so it doesn't die on me mid-recording. So you're gonna get to hear my AC maybe, unless my recording is really good enough to get rid of it every time. I only watch so much of my recordings back. Like, I look through the transcript to see that I didn't say anything that I know is an intrusive thought. Because I judge my own words sometimes. I look back at what I've said and I'm just like, what the fuck? Sometimes I leave it in because it's really funny, and sometimes I cut it out because I'm like, that's not what I believe in or funny. So I'm just like, okay. Yeah. It looks like it do. What? It's you. So I'm watching a movie in the background, and it looks like one of those, hey, they're heading to college scenes, but like she's a pregnant woman and has a baby. Immediate car crash. That's what we're starting with? That's what they decided to start with. So I've been reading this one story, and well, the one of the main characters keeps getting harassed by others because he's with the hot like teacher, but he's also a teacher. And a bunch of his students is harassing him in like as a college setting because they want to date the teacher and think they're too ugly for their spouse. And he called their parents on them because they were trying to bully a teacher. And well, you can't bully a teacher if you're a student. I'm sorry to break this to you, but they can and will get you suspended. I mean, like, if you want to ruin your life, maybe. College is already expensive. Imagine still having to pay for it even though you can't get your degree. That's pathetic. Treat your teachers with respect, even if they're assholes. Though I did have an art teacher, and she was Ukrainian. The most beautiful accent. See, the thing is, I know she had to be in her 40s because her son is a 20-year-old, but no, she did not look like that old. She did not look like she had a 20-year-old child. Like, I understand professors, they have to be on the older side because they have so much credentials, but she was hot as fuck. Like, curvy as hell. Blonde, too. Had a beautiful accent. I love Russian accents and Ukrainian accents. Don't question it. Those two accents make me happy. Brazilian, nah. French, nah. Italian, nah. Give me the Ukrainian and Russian. I don't know. Don't question it. I love my girlfriend for who she is, but those accents will always just tickle my brain. It's like I fell in love with my girlfriend regardless of these things, but they still tickle my brain in a good way, you know? Anyway, I spent a lot of the class just straight up complimenting this teacher and flirting with her because why not? But I like flirted in the most autistic way of like, see, the thing is, I know you can't be any younger than 40, but you don't look like you're in that age group is the greatest form of like just because I can use logic to know what age you are doesn't mean you look that age. Like I can logic my way to understand to know exactly when your birthday is. But you sure as hell don't look it. She looked so much younger. I'll never have to speak to her again, but it's a damn shame because she was. If there was any form of art in that class, it was the teacher. It was an art class. She actually never really critiqued my artwork very much. She just always was like, can you add more? Like, why are you so light-handed? Made fun of the fact that I was so gentle with the paper. I had cheap, shitty paper, okay? Paper really does matter in art. You need expensive paper for it to look good and like dark and smooth and properly like pigmented. Especially with charcoals, because if it's not sticking to the page, it's just not gonna build properly. Like even when I was doing inks and stuff, she was like, add more shadows. And I really struggled adding shadows. I'm just really light-handed, okay? I'm a mixed medium person. So just sticking with one thing, like inks and stuff, really bugged me when I was doing that art class. I loved it because I needed the practice, clearly. But she understood that I got shape down and that I understood proportions. My only issue was I just wasn't very confident and I didn't get into the details because I was lazy. She was like, why do you not spend longer on your art? It would be so much nicer if you just took your time. Because I kept handing in my assignments like and doing them like an hour before class She was like, why do you do this? Little did I know that I might have ADHD because which is probably from my mother, because my mom was definitely diagnosed with it, but it would explain why um I hate doing things unless there's like a tight deadline. But I'm also very good at forcing a timeline for myself so that I can get things done, because autism and scheduling and getting them things exactly on time, my brain hates it when I'm late, and it gives me a mental breakdown if I'm late. So I have to be early. I've actually gotten better at that. So now, instead of having a full mental breakdown whenever I'm late, I just breathe and be like, just text them, you'll be fine. But I have a fear of phone calls. And it's just affecting me in the weirdest ways. And both my managers looked at me and were like, Chris made like a weird schedule because like he made you work till 11 and then immediately put you on for showing up at like 9:30 a.m. in the morning the next day. And my only thought is, what a fucking asshole. But you know what? I still have 2 days off, so fuck yeah, why not? But honestly, I don't mind the morning shift right after a night shift, because that means I'll have the rest of that day to get other things done. And stores will actually be open. So if I wanted to get myself some snacks and use my tip money to buy me some ice cream, I fucking can, bitch. Because stores aren't all stores that are nearby are closed down by the time I want to go shopping or need to go. And I'm just like, oh, but I want snacks, I want ice cream. But all of the stores that sell it for cheap are shut down early. But actually, I really want to go to Right Scary again because they have the best desserts. And I have been craving that strawberry parfait. They also have a chocolate one, but the chocolate one ain't as good. Which some people will be like, why don't you like the chocolate one? Why don't you like it? And I'm just, it's too much. It needs some fruit in there. If it was chocolate and cherries or chocolate and strawberries, it would be a lot less intense and a lot less too much, you know? It wouldn't be too much if it was chocolate and a fruit, but it's just chocolate. And that's too much for me. Like, don't get me wrong, it is delicious. And if you love chocolate only things, go for it. Like, that's something I would eat if I was like starting my period. But if I'm not starting my period and I'm not studying, I don't need that many sweets. And I would rather have fruit. I love fruit though. I'm very fruity. My girlfriend knows. Yeah. Though I don't think she's ready for how many kinks I really do have. Though I'd still need to share her my bucket list. She has not seen it yet. Some people write a bucket list because they don't plan to live that long. I write a bucket list to give me something to look forward to. but it's actually something I tell people who are suicidal to always write a bucket list and constantly find things that they want to add to it. Give yourself reasons to live, even if it means eating pizza every day or every Friday. Give yourself something to look forward to. If you are depressed, you need something to look forward to keep wanting to be here. Because living sucks. So give yourself a reason, even if that reason is pizza or tacos, even if that reason is food, just in general. I mean, if your mother sucks at cooking and never taught you what it's like to actually eat nice food, it's a lot harder. But my mom grew me up on lobster tails and really nice cuts of steak because my dad had the money. Even though he declared bankruptcy like 3 different times, and I think the only reason he can do that is because he's a drug addict. And, well, technically his business is not completely legal. He fixes restaurant equipment. The legality behind it is he doesn't do taxes properly. He's had to change his tax guy multiple times. At that rate, I just do my own taxes. But I actually make my still do mine because she accepts it, and it's one of her forms of payment for me. Also, every single time my dad asks for money, like in the form of, why did you do your own taxes? I wanted you on my taxes so I could get a bonus of money. You're not spending that money on me. Yeah, you're paying for the house, but you would have had to pay for this house anyway because you wanted to live here. You're not losing any money by having me here. You just want extra money on your taxes so that you can do more drugs. Drug addict. I love my dad, but some of the things he does is definitely driven by addiction. Also, every single time I have to do a post, everyone's like, you've been through so much, and your posts are so personal. And my posts are so personal is because I don't mind sharing random bullshit around my family on the internet. Because I love my family, but I also find them entertaining. So we probably have a more interesting backstory than any of the Kardashians ever have. And half of them weren't even pretty until after they got surgery. I say half because some of them were prettier before. And that's how you know some of them were botched real bad. Though any fake enhancements, like hips and butts, that shit looks fake, and we know it's fake. And that's why it's ugly. Like, if you have an enhancement and it looks like it naturally happened, sure, that's not so bad. But when it is very distinctly and clearly not meant to be like that, like a shelf, that's when you know something's wrong. I will say, some of the more interesting things in my life definitely revolve around what my parents do. Because they're a little weird. Like, my mom thinks she's suing the government for a lot of money. and other places for things that I don't remember because I zone out whenever I listen to them. Sometimes grief makes people do weird things. Apparently, a lot of one of my manager's friends are like poor, but in like the worst way. Because like they have some nice things, but that's all their money goes to is those nice things and maintaining those nice things. And that's it. Like some people are house poor, some people are car poor. Like they own the nice house and the nice car, but that's it. I feel like also one of my friends had this conversation with me too. I will ask the question, do you believe in an afterlife, and what kind of afterlife do you believe in? Because a lot of different people have different beliefs in what will happen after you die. One of my coworkers, he was talking about how he took a philosophy class and hated it because the teacher believed there was only darkness after death. I personally believe whatever you think is going to happen after you die is what's going to happen. I will accept whatever god that wants to claim me, but I doubt any of them will, so. Which is ironic because I believe in all of them existing. But it's probably that, in general, that makes them not want me. But I also don't really care who's the most powerful of them all. So maybe I'll be claimed by a god like Anubis. One, or maybe one like Hades. Let me do this section. I'm probably not going to finish this by the time I wanted, but I'm going to try. I know I tend to get quiet sometimes. Also, as soon as I put my computer up, it stopped glitching out, which means getting air. I literally just put a metal cup underneath my computer, and that's the only thing it's propped on. That is probably the most dangerous thing I could do with my electronic, and I did it anyway. I should at least put two that are like the same height. But, nah. I mean, it's also propped up against the wall. Plus, we know if anything's gonna fall, it's my camera on my face. Because it's happened before. Multiple times. I find it a lot easier to be productive when my stomach isn't full. Because whenever my stomach is actually full and I eat, like, healthily, I get so incredibly tired that I just want to sleep. So, I'd rather just... But the character in the movie I'm watching is getting drowned by Hellspawn. Damn. He got locked in the shed with fire. Who puts the lock on the outside of a building that can't be opened from the inside? I mean, technically there is a lock on the outside of the shed that you can't open from the inside of it, but it's also just held in by some rusty nails. And I feel like if I kicked hard enough, I'd actually break it because it's with a rotten piece of wood. There's nothing of value in the shed. We don't keep tools in there. We don't keep anything expensive in there. Well, I mean, I guess like the giant power saw, but it's like a full table and you can't really move that. Especially with how it's bolted into the floor. One of the scariest stories I was ever told by one of my grandmother's tenants, though, was how when her car was in a car accident, her seatbelt broke, and so she had to put her arm on the dash to hold her kids from falling through the windshield. And she had to hold her kids back because they were falling over their seatbelts because they weren't secured enough or properly. And the airbag went off and broke her arm in 3 places. There, and there, and there. 3 places broken. Like an accordion. And the only reason their credit score was bad was because she was forced to be out of work because her arm was broke. Okay. Everyone's bringing back their wraps. That's making me worried that they're gonna start bringing back the wraps at KFC. I'm not looking forward to that. Because back then, they were 2 for $5, and everyone ordered like 8 to 10 of them. No. Order enough for yourself, and then leave. And it was just too much. Like, I get it, they were cheap, they were good, but it was just too much. Especially since the wraps that we got for them, like the tortillas and stuff, were really gross. Like, texturally. They would dry out quickly. They went moldy very fast. Whenever a bead drops off of my tool, it's annoying. Also, the character makes so much sense. Because every single one of her visions have been about her car accident that killed her baby. And all of the predictions the mom's making had nothing true in them. Her mom wasn't a clairvoyant. She was losing her mind with tumors. I mean, her visions are real, but it's all in her head, technically. I know my fortunes have come true, yes. But it's with patterns recognition. All of what I guess and assume comes from an area of pattern recognition. I've seen it happen before to someone else, so I can relay that information and tell you how your outcome is going to be effective. It's based in smarts and science rather than in guesswork. That's horrifying. She found a tape in the wall. Something that makes me very certain that I am a little bit different than a lot of people that I'm around is how if something weird or creepy happens, I do not investigate further. I go the fuck away and ignore what's scaring me. Because I do not want to know. Oh dear. They're just these shiny things out in the woods and they're going to investigate. That's how you get, like, murdered by Fae, isn't it? Ignore the shiny things in the woods unless you want them to steal your voice and name. Building houses on cemeteries should be illegal. Or selling the cemetery land as regular land. I feel like that shouldn't be legal. It's actually why I believe in, like, cremation. Why would he climb into the water? To grab some weird thing that's left under there. There was a baby doll. Creepy as hell. They found a gravestone and now they're trying to deface it. What the hell? Who does that? Anyway, peace, love, have a good day, my fab fans, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye!